Hey there, Waldo here from nextpokerjump.com, and this video we will be discussing the ace-high boards. Yeah, very important ace-high boards, how to play them, which sizing to use, and versus which opponents to do what. One thing you should know is the ace-high boards are one of the most frequent boards that occur on the flop. So most of the time it's going to be an ace-high board. More often than any other board, more often than king high, queen high, 10 high, etc. So let's see what is going on these boards. Let me see, where is my, there's this, yeah, okay. Let's see. Okay. So here is a scenario that we have we will analyze today. I can tell you everything, but some guys are visual, some guys are rational. Some guys like to see what is going on. Other guys want to know what the science behind it is, what the math behind it is. So this video is going to be something for both of them. So this is a program. It's called Card Runners EV. It's a pretty good program. Do I think you have to buy this program? No, I don't think so. Would it help? Let's say you play 50NL, 100NL plus. Yeah, definitely it's going to be a nice program. Why not? That being said, let's start. So here, what is going on? We're in the button, okay? This is going to be like, we're the button we raise. And we get a call from the big blind. Yeah, the flop is ace for deuce, and they check to us, we bet. Here, we bet, and he's going to call. First of all, it's very interesting to see what this guy is calling, okay? Well, it all depends. Let's say we started with a really tight opponent, yeah? The guy is calling very tight. Yeah, here, I think this is something like a tight. This is very tight. He's calling 25%. And he's three-betting some hands. Ace queen suit is not three-betting, but okay. Let's say we will see for every different type of opponent, whether it's a tight one, whether it's a loose one, how to place versus that opponent. So here we go. The button is one of the spots that we open a lot of our hands. We're playing a lot of hands post flop versus a big blind. So this is going to be that situation. So we bet. And we can see here he is going to have, what is he going to call and what is he going to fold. Well, you can see he has two pairs. How many percentage of the time does he have two pair plus? 3% only. So this is not a board that is like extremely good for him. We can have more. Two pair plus. Actually, no, we have the same. Well, we have also ace deuce, I guess. Okay, it doesn't matter. So there we go. How often does this guy have top pair? 20% of the time he has actually a top pair, which is pretty decent amount of the time. So these are his top pairs. If he doesn't, we will analyze for everyone. So here we go. He has a gut shot. With the pocket pairs, for his middle pairs, he has almost no middle pairs, which is weird. Why doesn't he have a middle pair? Okay, well, he has no 4 in his range, I guess. Well, that makes sense. So he still is going to have his 10s, 9s, 8s, 7s. So one pair is going to be 12% of the time. And you can see there is no... Well, this is double. Sorry, we have to delete this. Well, let's delete this. Gut shot, delete. And then we go and put it here. So for his made hands, he has only like, let me see, 35% of the time a made hand. He has no flush draws, he has no middle pairs, and he has some gut shots. It's going to be around 6%. Together, this is going to be 60. He's going to call 42%. Obviously, this is a versus Rex, yeah? The last video about sizing used to exploit the straightforward fish. This is different, and this is going to be different too. This is how you want to play a very good balanced game versus a regular. So let's see what it's going to be. Which sizing to use? If we bet here 75% of the time of the pot, we will have to have a fold of 42% to be break even. And what is his fold? He's calling 42%, and he is folding You see how much? 58% of the time is folding. So if we make it as sizing 75% of the time, 75% is going to be, let me see, 85 minus, oops, sorry, minus, what is it, minus 42, and that's our profit, is this minus this is, you can see that this is our profit is going to be 16 profit. What if we use a different bet sizing? Yeah, let's say we use 50% of the time. Then we need only a fold of 33% of the time. And let's see how it goes. There you see it again. Now we will profit 25% of the time. That's 9% more than here. This is significant to your win rate. Why? Because the ace-high boards occur the most often. This is the boards that you're going to play most often. Your sizing has to be correct. So here we go. And what if we use here a smaller sizing like 40%? That's actually the sizing that I like. And you will see we make 30% profit. Let's say we play here this spot versus an extremely the case passive fish who play very straightforward, just fold way too much, or regulars that have a way too high fold to c-bet, being 55, 60, stuff like that. Even though their c-bet sizing, fold to steal is c-bet is going to maybe low, it could be that it's going to be high on this board, because as you can see, it can only call here 42% of the time with pretty decent hands here. Yeah, he's calling with everything. Okay, so now we want to bet here. We're playing versus a very straightforward passive fish who's always check folding, or we're playing versus a reg who is folding way too much to c-bet. Let's see if we bet 33% of the time. Oops, what does this make sense? Oh, obviously this is going to be 25. Oh, here, there we go. So the question here is, on this ace-high board, when you're going to c-bet, and you are going to c-bet, you're at nothing. When you have your 5 high, you're going to bet. Well, 5 high is a gutter. Let's say 6 high, 7 high, 8 high, 10 high, queen high. You can bet. King high, maybe you can check, but if you want to go, you play versus that extreme case, you can just c-bet it. You see, now the question is, you will profit. But now the question is, you want to profit, how big do you want to profit? This is the question on these kind of spots. Well, how big you want to profit, guys? Let me give you an advice. Yes, guys? When you play this board versus Rex, yeah, always bet at least, maximum is going to be, you're going to be c-betting here 50% of the time. 50% of the pot. I recommend to bet you here 40% of the pot, just to get that little extra. What is that little extra? It's 30% win rate, or profit. So this type of board I would bet versus a regular 50% of the time, 50% of the pot. So this is going to be a dry board, ace high, betted 70%. So now 50%, sorry. And even because this one is so dry, I would actually prefer that you bet here 40%, just to get that 3% more, or if what is it, 5% more profit. Let's see how this changes when there's a flush draw out there. Let's see here. There we go, flush draw. Do you guys thought this is going to be very, 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 very much different? No. Why? Only 6% more, 5% more is going to call. And still he's folding. Look guys, way too much. Okay, now we can make this 50, 50, 50, 50. And you will see if we bet 75. Well, okay, let me make this here. And this is going to be 75% of the pot, this is going to be 50% of the pot, and this is going to be, what is this? 40%, and 33%. Again, you're profiting. You see? You're still making profit. When you bet 75% of the pot, even when there's a small flush draw out there, it's only, you can see only 5% more calling from his side. And how is this going to change? Look, still profit, still profit, still profit, and still profit. Dumbest sizing here to bet is when you have 75%. Let's say you're playing versus a fish and you have ace king. What do you do, guys? Do you bet here small to be balanced? No. Versus fish, when you have it, bet big. But versus rags, when you have ace king, you want to play a balanced game. You want to bet also the sizing that you're bluffing. You want to value bet and you want to bluff. At least on the flop. Later on the turn river, we're going to play exploitative. So 50% of the time still is going to be 40% is even better. Now I want you guys to see how is this going to change when the middle card is a king. Well, let's for 1 second turn off the flush. Yeah, let's see how's this going to. Wow, guys, what is this? What is this, guys? What is this? What is this, guys? Let me see. Now he is calling way more. Why? Why do you guys think? He has still the same amount of top pairs. Two pairs is two pair plus is going to be a bit less. And now you see his middle pair is increasing. Now there is a king. A lot of his range is going to be a king. Yeah. There it is, the king. Middle pair. And you see his one pair type of hands didn't change a lot. You can fold a bit more of those now. Pocket sevens might fold now. Pocket tens and stuff like this maybe too. Got flush draws, no. And this is also a big difference. You can see when there are two high cards on the flop, it's going to be a c-bet anymore. He's not folding anymore, guys. You can see. He has more middle pairs to call, and he has now way more gut shots. Look, when the gut shot is on the higher side, he has a lot of hands that he can call with. So now we can't c-bet this anymore. This is the golden rule. Remember this. When there are two high cards on the flop, you can't c-bet this with any two cards. It's not going to be profitable. Even though it's a dry ace-high board, it's not that dry anymore because there are now two big cards there. You see, high cards. There's a king and the ace. He's going to call us now every single time. It's not smart to bet here. So this is a board you want to c-bet only when you have it. You don't want to bluff here anymore. Let's keep it moving, okay? Let's just see. Well, nothing changed here with the queen. Still two high cards. And he's calling here. Two high cards, still calling. Let's see, what more? Where's the 10? He's still calling 75%. Two high cards are out there, and let's see what the 9. Will the 9 make a big difference, guys? What do you think? What do you think? Yes, you see? You see, guys? The 9 is making a difference. Now he's folding. He's calling now. Did I do this correctly? 1 second. Well, I think that should be 35. Well, I think I made a mistake here. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. It's good. So he's folding now 36. 36, 36, 36. Now you can see that even though this is going to be a relatively ace-high board, if you bet 75%, you're losing. If you bet 50%, you're winning, and this is again the best sizing, 40%, because you make most. 33 is a bit too small on this board, in my opinion. It's possible though to exploit these extreme cases. So what can we conclude? Well, those golden rule: when there are two high cards on the board, don't c-bet when you have no equity. When you have nothing, just check fold. Even though it's an ace-high board, when the board is high card and middle card, use your sizing correctly. If you don't use your sizing correctly, then you lose. Look, if you bet 75%, you lose here when you bet with air. So now we can keep it going. We will keep it going. Here. How does it change? It changes, you see? The lower we go, the more folds we get. Now we get again, how many folds? Here. 53. Now we start to make that big plus again. Obviously, this is going to be for everyone here, here, and here. There it is, guys. There it is. Before I want to go, I will go until let's just go a bit lower. Let's see if anything changes. I know it doesn't, but just for some guys who really want to see everything. Yeah, let's just keep it going. Keep it going, guys. Keep it going, and you can every time you can add up when there's a flush draw, you can add up 6% or 5%. There we go. You get more folds. Lower, even more. Until we go to 5. There we go. And there we go, guys. We made that whole thing. So now I just want to make this range a bit more wider. Yeah, some guys play a wider range. Some guys call any ace high here on the flop. Here they call a lot of king high stuff like this. This they call this. Maybe they three bet this. I don't know. This guys like this. They three bet more also. Maybe they three bet this stuff like this. Yeah, there we go. Let's see what this guy does. This guy is even this guy is folding. He's folding this much. Look, way too much. He's folding. So now let's go here. Oh, he is able to call a lot of the time. There we go, still calling a lot. There we go to the middle-ish cards. Now he starts to fold more, almost similar to the other two. So what is the conclusion, guys? The ace-high boards are very profitable to c-bet. Choose your sizing correctly. Play this board balance versus Rex, and play this board imbalance versus fish. Versus fish, when you have it, you want to bet bigger. When you don't have it, you want to bluff smaller. Every single time. That is the theory. What is the other golden rule that we learned today? Waldo's golden rule. Remember, every time Waldo tells you a golden rule, you make money. When there is a ace-high board with another high card, ace, king, queen, jack, 10, do not c-bet bluff this board. If you c-bet bluff this board, you burn money. Burn money. Burn money. That's it for the ace-high boards, and I will do the exact analysis for the king. Well, let's just do it here. I think we can make this in the same video. It doesn't make sense to make a new video about this. Let's just do it here. So now, how does it change if the board is now king high? He's folding more. He's folding more on the king high board on the ace high board. Doesn't make sense, of course, because he's calling way more ace highs. So let's see if it is the same thing when we have the two high cards. Wow, this is interesting. This is very interesting. Almost weird. So this means actually that we can c-bet bluff king high boards even though there is a second high card. Is this correct? Well, it's not. It is actually correct. Yeah, it is correct. So, okay. So let me see. Yes, and then let's go lower. The lower, the more they fold. Okay, well, this is very interesting. You can actually c-bet bluff the king high boards almost always. If you bet here, half pot, but we're not betting here half pot. We're betting here 75%. He's folding how much? He's folding 47%. So we're showing a profit, whatever sizing we bet. This is only when you versus the big blind, guys. Wow, this is very interesting. I always do lazy bet this. But okay, that's fine too. So there we go, guys. On the king high boards, how to play. Let's say how this changes when the opponent is is playing less hands. Let's say we're playing versus a mid-tier opponent. They call like this, I guess. Maybe they have this to arrange this too. Okay, now it changes again. So yeah, well, this is what I thought actually. Yeah, okay. So I will keep this rule. I will keep this as a rule. Yeah, I will keep this as a rule. No, yeah, no. Golden rule still applies. When there are two high cards on the flop, on the king high board, you don't want to see but bluff there. Do you want to see but bluff here? Yes. When there is no two high cards, well, let's see here. He's folding 36. We did this already, and you can only bluff here again when you see bet here half pot or less. So again, on this board is going to be the same as on the ace high board. You can play this almost identically. There's nothing. So let's just see here. Let's just add here when there's a flush draw. How does that change? Here. So now he's folding. Yeah, okay. He's folding way too much here. Let's see when this is a 9. Well, the 9 has some gutters, that's why it's a bit. There's still some gutters here. I will still keep that rule in mind. I will still keep that rule in mind. But if you're a bit smarter and you're more advanced, just know that the king and the 9 connect well. The higher broadways connect a lot here. You see, this is the thing. This is making the difference here. The higher straight draws, they connect here, and that's why it's going to cause 11% more calls. I mean, look what will happen only if we get this reduced, yeah? You can see. The gutters will go now, right? No gutters. And now you can see how profitable it is again. Keep that in mind. When the higher gutters connect on the king high board, don't see bet bluff that board. When there's a flush draw. But you can see bet it when there's no flush draw. The 5% there is going to make the 4% is going to make the difference here. It's again a very there's only one exception. You can see there's the 9, the king 9. That's the only thing. Every other thing still all those golden rules apply. When there are two high cards on a board on the king high, you can't see bet bluff here when you have no equity. So, and I will also discuss here now on this board one more hand. Well, there's going to be the king high. Let's see. Will you see here the queen high is going to be almost the same. We're playing here with the tighter guys or the needier guys. Let me see. Okay, let's play a bit more with this kind of guys. You will. I hope that you're on the way to be more advanced. You're playing 50 NL, you're playing 25 NL, 100 NL, 200 NL. People are going to defend correctly, and people are going to sometimes they will defend a lot of hands here, here, stuff like this. Okay, let's just see how do you fare now. Doesn't matter. He's still going to fold super duper much. He's going to fold a lot. He needs to call here with some backdoor draws and stuff like that to prevent us from bluffing here with nothing. So guys, queen high is going to be almost the same. Let me see. The difference here might be though that he's going to call here with some ace highs. Yeah, exactly. High card, ace high. Oh wait, let me see. Let me first. Okay, exactly high card with a value of an ace high. Even if he does that, if some guys do, some guys don't, and if they do, they're not going to call all ace highs. They're going to call the good ones. They're going to call the ace jack, ace nine, ace eight, maybe ace seven, but I don't think they will call all of them. Let's say 50% of the time, so he's going to call 50% less and fold 50% more. The flush draw is going to add 4 or 5%. You can see, but it's basically the same. But just keep in mind there's a board. This is a board that people are going to float some ace highs, and this is also the case for the king highs. So you need to take that into account. And still is going to be profitable to see bet here. Pretty profitable if you use here the half pot sizing. What is the half pot sizing here? He's folding 40%. Again, look, it's going to be very profitable. Profitable. And our profit is going to be 7%. I prefer, again, on the very dry board, queen high, to bet 40% pot, and that's going to make you the most money. Money. That's what we want. Let's see how we do on the jack. We call, and he's going to call and fold, and he's going to float now some more hands. He's going to float the king queen, for example, some other king highs. Well, not too much, honestly not too much. Some ace highs he should float. If he doesn't float, he's making a mistake. Fold is going to be very high still, very high. Even the jack high you can play the same, but there's one more thing here with the jack high. Look how this is going to be. You see, now the jack and the 7-9 are connecting again with a lot of gut shots. Look, you see? Very important when they connect a bit. You look how drastically it changes. So here we go only one more down here. Or oh, I'm sorry. I mean, we go one more down. Look what kind of difference there's no gut shots anymore, guys. That's the difference. Understand this, and you can pretty much play the dry jack highs. What is the dry? Let's go to the 7 again. Not dry. Too much. Look here. Where's the gutters? Here, these things are connecting now. Well, I'm not sure if it's going to float here. Always ace high, but let's just say again. Okay, let's make it 50% of the time. Still folding a lot. But this is not a board that you want to bet small on. You should actually. So again, let's see how he folds. He's folding 40%, which is here exactly the same. But just understand when it's going to change. When everything is going to change. I mean, you can see how much more favorable it is just to go one jack down. Not jack 7, not jack 7, jack 6. Now you can even bet every sizing. You can bet here 43% is folding, 53% of the time is folding. Now every sizing is going to be again a profitable one. So this is something you need to work with, guys. I discussed the ace high board, the king high board, queen high board, and the jack high board. I'm not going to the 10 high board. 10 high boards you can go yourself. We will do here is also the paired boards. The paired boards are very important. Let's analyze the paired board. Look how much folds you get, guys. It's amazing how much folds you get. But you get more calls here from ace high. Now we can say ace highs are calling almost 100% of the time. You get here. I mean, they should call anyway. Folds way still too much. Paired high boards. Let me give you a good rule. Okay, let's see how this changes. He folds more, but he's now going to float more. What kind of hands? I will give you a range here. I will tell you what kind of hands is going to float more. It's going to float this hand. The queen high, the jack high, this size, this hands, this hands, this hands, this hands, and this hands. Stuff like that is gonna float more. And you can save, and you will see he's going to call more on the lower boards than on the higher boards. Something you have to know, but still it's going to be break even if you bet 40% of the time. So you want to bet here 40% of the time. Of pot. 40% of the pot. 35% of the time you get a fault. You make a profit. Let's see. Oops. And even half pot is here profitable. That's why we always bet at half pot. And again, if you want to make that little more, this is going to add up. The paired boards are also all among the top 5 most frequent boards that occur on the flop. So again, it's going to be a C bet, 50% of the time, and more preferably 40% of the time. And do this for everything. I mean, look at the fish. When you play this board versus a fish is going to call almost any high overcard. It's going to call, what is this range? It's going to call with, what is this thing? Here it is. Here it's going to call with like all the overcards, everything. He's just gonna call anything because here this guy has a backdoor draw. He has a this. Just keep it in mind. A fish calls more on this kind of board, so maybe it's not that kind of best bet here on the lower ones, but on the higher ones again it is. Just understand this. You can still just go with the rule of c betting half pot. Just understand. To choose that little softer spot of going for 40% pot, 33% pot versus rags versus fish, just keep this theory in mind. This is how things work. You're looking every time for a small EV. Every time you're looking for that small plus. When you get that, this is when you get money. This is how we play poker. It's very simple. These boards that I discussed today, ace high, king high, queen high, jack high, and paired boards, if you want to start focusing on making analysis on boards, start with these boards. These are the most occurred boards, and then later you can go to the other ones. That's it for now. Good luck.